Welcome to the Sports Card Lessons Podcast. I'm your host, Big Ken. Whether you're watching on YouTube or listening on a streaming service, please like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. You'll be notified whenever I drop any new content. Welcome. Thanks for being here. As promised, a collaboration with 6 of the 7 Wolfpack members. And Dave, not here, didn't make it. But 6 of us strong with the 2023 national preview. It was a fun episode, and I think you guys are really going to enjoy it. But before we start, it's here, right? This week, it's National Week, and I am ready. Some programming notes for this week as far as scheduling. I'll be bringing my equipment to record. I'm just going to say record. I can't even tell you how many episodes. It just depends on and how much time I get to record, but I'm definitely going to be dropping some stuff, putting it out there. I have no set schedule right now. So definitely subscribe, whether it's on the podcast or the YouTube side. So you'll be notified. You'll know when, new content's coming out. I'm also expecting some PSA orders to arrive in the nick of time, really. Either Monday night, Tuesday night. I'm leaving early Wednesday morning to head out there. So I'm thinking I might do a little bit of a preview of some of the cards before I go. So definitely keep your eye out for that too. That's it for now. Stay tuned for this week. Stay tuned for a comment coming out. And without further ado, I hope you enjoy this episode. Here we go.
All right, everyone. We are here. Week of National, the Wolfpack, almost in its entirety. We have 2 guys who are out, but we are here. I'm Rob, sports card therapist. Tony, you want to start it off with introductions?
Yeah, I'm Cousin Tony, half of the Cousins Collectibles podcast. Happy to be here. Let's get it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And I am Cousin Oz the People's Mailman, the other half of Cousins Collectibles. Appreciate you, Tony. Appreciate you, Rob. Going to go ahead and throw it over to my man, Craig.
My guy Oz, thank you. I am Craig, half of Crosstown Cardboard, New York City Sports Cards, and I'm happy to be here with my homies tonight.
I am Big Ken. I am all of Sports Card Lessons podcast, and I am happy to be here too with all the Wolfpack.
Nice.
Yeah, so guys, let's just get this out of the way. National 2023, Rosemont, Illinois, this week. We have a trade night that we are putting on, and it's Friday night from 6 to 10 p.m. It is at Crown Plaza. Is that it, guys?
Sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Crown Plaza Hotel. I would say get there early if you can. First 100 people in the door are getting free t-shirts. We have trade night t-shirts. If you're watching on YouTube, you can see it. If you're listening on the podcast, sorry about that.
Look at that.
Dope.
Boom.
Very nice. You got all that. Yeah, sponsors on the back. So get there early.
Yeah, so just want to say thank you to the sponsors, Joku Sports Cards, who was the first to reach out to us and say, guys, I don't know what you're doing, but I know the National's still months away, but we definitely want to, be in business with you guys and sponsor it. So we're like, awesome, man. So Joku from Joku Sports Cards came aboard with Card Brokers, and then Raymond from Veriswap came along shortly thereafter and basically financed the entire event for us. And all we did was the dirty work. And so, I want to thank you guys for, stepping up and really putting together what is hopefully going to be the most talked about event at the National 2023. Am I kind of building up to be too much by saying that?
Not at all. Not at all. And the first one of many to come.
There you go.
Yeah, that's the plan, right? I mean, multiple Nationals after this, if this doesn't get shut down.
But that's the whole point.
Better,
if it doesn't get shut down, was it really a good trade night? I mean, come on.
I know. Very true. Very true. So guys, everyone on the screen right now, I know Carmine is coming on in a bit. I believe he's going to hope to make the stream, but everyone was at the national last year, all of us, right? So I guess talk to me about what some of the expectations are. Tony, do you have anything specific, any expectations as far as what you're hoping the national is going to be this year in Rosemont?
Definitely number one is the trade night. With last year, I kind of really pressured. I had kind of put pressure on myself to get the Clemente rookie that I wanted, so I was hyper focused on that. With this time around, I don't have. I'm kind of like taking the Craig approach, just going in, seeing whatever moves me in the moment or whatever, kind of go with the flow. So I'm definitely expecting a less. Not that it was stressful, but I started feeling that little bit of pressure by Friday. I was like, "Dang, I got to get this card." I kept looking and I just couldn't find the right one. And so with this time around, it's more about filling out a couple wants, not necessarily needs, just wants that some things that I want to check off on the list. And overall, just chill. It's like I really, it's more of a like just connecting with people, a little networking where we didn't do as much last year. And I think that's kind of where the focus will be for the most part, with obviously cards sprinkled in. But
Yeah, that it's gonna be a more chill vibe for me. This is cousin Oz, the people's mailman. So I'm going in there thinking, no pressure. So we just want to go ahead, like you talked about, put on a spectacular show. Make sure that like we're on the, the tongues and the lips of everybody out there when they talk about Friday night at the National. Everybody's gonna be talking. Yo, you missed the craziest trade night ever, and like we hope it's gonna go ahead and be an annual thing. But other than that, it's more so just a chill vibe. It's going there. It's really just soaking it all in and just taking my time with everything, looking at the cards, and again going back to what Tony and Craig said. I'm like that anyway. Just whatever moves me. I don't go in with a particular plan. I have some things in mind, but when I go buying cards, it's more like something has to touch me in the feels, and then I can make that purchase. But other than that, man, it's just a chill vibe, and with the intent of trying to meet as many people as we can, and just do that.
Yeah, I'm incredibly excited for our trade night, but I like that we're also calling it a hobby hangout because that is how I see it. If any of us knows anyone, they're friends of ours, come hang. A show's over. Nah, it's cool. Come hang. Crown Plaza, 6 p.m. Friday the 28th. Pull up. Seeing you guys, Rob, right? You saw at Bleecker, even just that event, how many different conversations with people you have. Multiply that by however many tables and how much space there is at Chicago. I'm expected to be overwhelmed. Last year was my first national in Atlantic City. This is much bigger. I'm here for 2 days as opposed to one. And cards wise, like echoing what you all said, going with an open mind and whatever catches your eye, that's it. But I think we're all ready to make some deals. That's for sure.
yeah,
Yeah, you know what? I'm going to be there 6 days, so I am.
My
I
He's
am
setting it up.
taking
He's closing it down.
I heard
I
I
gotta
heard
take-
Big Ken opened a PO box in Rosemont just because he's going to be there so long.
Man, I just plan on taking it all in. I think last year was just such a whirlwind, and this year I want to breathe a little. Right, I went in there with really a business mentality last year. This year I'm going in completely different. We've got a lot of things planned. Trade night off the hook. I just can't wait for that. Thursday night Wolfpack dinner. Little local cuisine. Looking forward to that.
Oh, I can't wait for that, man. I cannot wait for that. Reservations at a steakhouse and just us chilling, chopping it up.
Yeah.
yeah.
Uh,
And Craig, real quick, Craig, I like that you said about the hangout thing because I can all but guarantee I'm not making any trades at our trade night. Like I'm probably not even bringing any cards. Like I'm just gonna be.
No, I'm not going to bring any cards either.
Yeah,
I'll just have my fanny pack just in case. There it is.
Fair enough. Yeah,
There you never know, bro.
Yeah, I will not have any cards. Actually, Ken, and I want to ask you and Rob. So you guys, you're back as vendors, and so what'd you learn from last year that you're going to use to try to make for just a better show this time around?
Well, for me, last year, and I've talked on the podcast all over this last 6 months, is going to these big shows before the national. I sold a lot of product. So this year, I shut that down. I plan on bringing all my product out there, and I have a list of cards that.
When you say product, we're talking about cards, right?
Of course, we're talking about cards. kid.
Listen, I don't, with you, Big Ken, you never know. You know, you're talking about moving product on a pallet, and the waters get murky.
Yeah,
So I
yeah,
just want to
crossing state lines. Yeah,
exactly.
um, yeah. I'm going in. Like this year, I've got some PC cards that are hard to find cards that I'm going to be looking for while I'm out there. I've reached out to a few people. I told them what I'm looking for. So when they come out, right, they're my eyes on the floor because when this show is in full, I'm going to be, behind the table. I can't be running off doing much. So, I got my eyes out there, going to be looking for certain cards. So, I'm excited, just I have a plan to do so much, a lot of with the people too, a lot of the meetups, like we talk to with the content, you guys know with the content, you talk to so many people. I've given out our booth number, more times than I've given anything else out this year.
What is
So
our booth number?
it is 2117.
Love it. 2117, right near corporate,
Yep.
right near the concession stands. And from what I understand, right near the autograph area too, right?
Yep. Yep.
Man, so
Ooh,
Right,
autograph
right near the
corporate
front doors
concessions.
too. Or
wow.
right near the front door too.
Prime real estate for
That
Big
is prime
Ken.
real estate.
Ooh-wee.
Listen, Ken, I'm excited for you because from what I heard, 1/3 of the world population of Trinity Rodman collectors will be there. AKA there's 3 of you and you're going to be there. So it's 1/3 of the world population.
Hey,
So
do me a favor when we get off tonight. Just go to eBay and search Trinity Rodman and start looking at the prices of those cards. And you tell me there's only 3 of us out there.
Listen, Ken, I got your back here. I sent Ken a YouTube video today. Trinity Rodman had a feature with GQ. It was one of those 10 things you can't live without videos. So I'm like, Ken, this is our girl. She's a star. She's a star in the making.
She was talking about podcasting, right? And I said, I got to reach out because I got a new podcast for her to listen to.
love
There
it.
you go.
Love it. Love it. Yeah. I think, setting up as a vendor, the cool thing is anytime you're setting up anywhere, you never know what's going to walk up to the table and you never know what you have the opportunity to get at what price, because when people go to a show and they bring their cards, I can't speak for everyone, I can only speak for myself because I've been a walker plenty of times, but usually I'm looking to free up some cash because maybe what's in my Zion case is stale to me, or it's run its course, or I never wanted it to begin with. It was always going to be a flip item for me. So when I go up to a dealer and I'm saying, hey, are you guys buying? I'm probably going to give them a deal because I want cash. So if you are a vendor, it absolutely pays to have cash. But also, I think there's a lot of opportunity with anyone that's just there walking to pull other people aside and say like, hey, what do you got? Are you trading? You selling? And just anywhere there's open space, which there's probably not going to be much open space, but anywhere you see an open table, an open chair, an open anything, just sit down, start going through each other's cases. And I mean, you could have a trade night Thursday morning on the floor of the National.
Yeah.
And one thing I saw last year too, that I learned a lot from last year set up as a dealer is a show like this, like my mentality is come in cash heavy, right? But I think a lot of people came in card heavy because it's like what we do. Okay. You say, there's these cards I really want to get, and I don't mind moving these cards to get those. So they go in with cards, right? They're selling off cards to build capital to go buy the cards that they're looking to pick up, to move into. So yeah, there's a lot more opportunity as a dealer to buy cards than I realized from last year.
When you
Yeah.
guys are trying to move these cards on the floor for all you guys, how long before the frustration, like, if you go to a couple dealers and they're like, nah, how long before that frustration level reaches its peak and you're like, man, this isn't it? Or do you
Well,
kind of
I don't think you can get frustrated because there's basically a trade night every night of the week. There's trade nights that are going to be breaking out, and whatever hotel you're staying in, there are trade nights, impromptu trade sessions that are just going to start. So that chances are all the cards you bring to the National, you probably won't be coming home with. So that's why. First of all, I'm a big proponent of always bring your biggest cards if you want to make a move, because chances are you'll be able to move those, or you'll have the opportunity to if you want to. But listen, you are going to be going home with a completely different set of cards than you came there with. I think that's probably applies to 95% of people that are going there.
Agreed. It's just a matter of, we always go back to what participation is required. So you're gonna
Let's
have
go.
to, you know,
Yeah,
you
this
might go to
guy's
one table.
Suck up.
You might go to one table and then they're nah. You know, you'll go up, hey, you guys looking, you buying, and you show what you got, and then you might get turned down, and you might go to the next table and you might get turned down. So the dealers may not be looking at what you know, buying what you're selling, but eventually you can either go to like the trade nights, like he's talking about, the fellow, you know, collectors that are there, or you might get lucky and hit up a dealer that is interested in your stuff. But it's a matter of just continuing to, you know, go ahead and you know, be aggressive. You know, it's like the Nationals, the time to go out there and to have some cojones. You know, I mean, this is our Super Bowl, so just go ahead and make it happen. You know what I mean? Like you went through all that. You know, you're flying across country. You know, you're getting on a plane. You're going to Chicago. You're getting a room. You go all out. There's no time to be, you know, pussyfooting in the corner and be like, oh shucks, they don't want my cards. No, go there with that mentality. Be a killer, and I guarantee you'll come out of there like, damn, I made that happen.
And you know what? I'm thinking about Tony when you said, like, you know what? And Tony and I, we were talking on the phone, I think yesterday, and we're having this conversation. And he said, you know what? Last year, man, like I put way too much pressure on myself to get that Clemente. That was your Grail card. That was your ultimate Grail, right? But I put so much pressure on myself. Finally, I ended up getting it. And you know, pressure busts pipes, but pressure also produces diamonds, man. And without putting that pressure on yourself, you might not have ended up with that Clemente. So if you have a card that you are absolutely chasing, go for it, man. Like, put that pressure on yourself. You know what I mean? Because no one else is going to do it for you, you know, unless you have a Wolfpack. If you have a Wolfpack,
I gotta admit, I put a little bit of that pressure on him too, because after a while, I'm like, yo, Tone, you better make a move, bro. Like, like stop messing around.
Yeah, I was like, geez, I needed my man Craig to be like, yo, chill, pump the brakes. But
No, Oz, I like what you said about, you know, you're going to leave the show with a brand new collection. You have no idea what that might look like. And that's what's so fun to me, is the mystery of it. Similar to any type of memories or fun stories that we're going to have out of this weekend. You have no idea what that's going to look like, but that's part of the fun, right? You just go in, we participate, and we'll see what comes out of it. But I'm certainly excited to make moves. I got my cards. I got my cash. I am ready to rock.
There you go.
I love
You
it.
never know what's gonna pop off. Like there was one night we went into a trade night that was in a little suite, you know, at the top penthouse room, which was about, you know, it looked like a little closet. And it was
Wet
like
and wild.
yeah, it was like 20 people up in this little closet room. I was like, this is a trade night. Okay. So we went from there. And then, you know, we went to Card Collectors 2's trade night right after that. And then once we were done with that, we ended up coming back to our hotel, and there was an impromptu trade night in the lobby. You had the GC, the great curator, there chilling. And it was like, whoa, it was just, there's so many things popping off. You never know what's going to happen, but you got to put yourself in those positions to, you know, like I said, to succeed. And, you know, sometimes you got to come out of your shell. And a lot of us, in the hobby, we're kind of like, we're introverts, you know, we like to collect our cards and do our thing, and you know, we've been that way our whole lives, and sometimes it's difficult for us to get out of our shells and do those types of things, but this is the time to do it, to grow and prosper.
Just remember, there's plenty of time to relax and sleep after the National.
Damn,
It's
so true.
You're not going out there to relax or sleep. It's just go time, complete go time. Yeah.
Listen,
So-
Oz and I, we touched down on, so we're gonna touch down on Thursday, going right from the I guess we gotta, because I guess it would be kind of weird to walk through my luggage and stuff. So I guess we'll make a pit stop, and I think we land at like 12:30ish.
Thursday. Okay.
Yes, sir. Yeah. So if all goes well, by 1:30, because I mean it's not that far, we should be on the floor and hit the ground running, man.
Get out the red carpet, baby.
Yeah.
So let me ask you guys. Let's go around. I want you to finish this sentence, okay? The National 2023 will be considered a success for me if. Ken, you can go first. How about this, Tony? You can go first.
The National 2023 will be a success for me if the trade night extends deep into the night.
if the fire marshal comes.
Yeah, like I know it's not like nobody talks about the trade night, and then we might be putting putting bad juju out there, but nobody talks about the trade night that didn't get shut down.
Listen, we're
We
gonna
could-
edit that part out. Oz, how about you, man?
It will be a success for me if I am able to move the cards that I got bringing. I'm bringing 10 to 15 of my better cards, probably some Allen Iversons, and I'm bringing them in with the intent of either selling or trading into getting to a banger, like I was talking about, something that is going to add to my collection, that I'm going to look at that card and be like, yeah, that's something you're going to remember that once you got to the national, and it's going to be a cornerstone of my collection here. So I'm hoping to move the cards that I have in my fanny pack, come hell or high water, whether it's through the trade night or through a dealer, or even Craig might look on the down low. Craig, I think, is the next AI collector in the Wolfpack. I don't know. I keep seeing him picking up
Bill.
AI.
Nah,
I don't know.
He's just the middleman. He knows he
I
knows where to
guess. I
move
don't
him to.
know. I think he's an AI collector at heart. I'm just saying. But either
Well,
way, it will be a
Oz,
success. Yes.
the way that those kind of moves happen, and you guys probably know this and are thinking the same, but in my opinion, when you're bringing like a Zion case or even half a case full of cards, and you're like, I want to consolidate all of these into one or two bangers, that's my goal. You and a lot of time you're not just going to walk up to a dealer or walk up to someone at trade night and they're going to have the perfect card to you and be like, yeah, I'll trade down for those 15 cards. A lot of times it's going to take straight grinding, you consolidating two of your cards into one bigger card, another three cards into one bigger. And then all of a sudden, by the end of the day or by the end of 2 days, it's like, now you don't have 15 cards. Now you have 4. Now you have 4 bigger cards. Then the right opportunity comes where you can take those 4 cards, boom, move those up into 2 bangers. Now you're looking at it like, wow, I can't believe I have a second year Mike Trout auto BGS 10 in my hand that I wasn't planning on getting this. And I know I don't want to end up with this card, but I know someone here would love this card. And I know that someone is going to make a deal with me tonight for this. It's like, so sometimes it's about, it's almost like that movie Copland. I love that movie. Stallone, Harvey Keitel.
Yeah.
The movie's incredible, right? So in
Tony doesn't know
Copland,
what you're talking about.
Ray,
Go ahead.
Ray Liotta is like, no, you don't take Broadway to get to Broadway. You got to zig, you got to zag, you got to avoid the lights, right? So it's almost like sometimes the most direct route isn't the right one. Sometimes it takes having to do a few different deals, and then boom, you pounce on that big one.
Bang. Perfect.
Putting the work in.
Yeah. Craig, how about you?
All right, a success for me from a card standpoint. I look back to my images from last year's national. I think I had 7 pickups that I came home with, and I still have 4 of those. So the fact that I've held those cards for a year, they're a part of my collection. 3 of those cards are staying home with me. 1 of them I'm bringing. So the goal is always to acquire 2, 3, however many cards that become a part of your personal collection, whatever that is. Maybe this year it's just going to be one banger. Banger. I don't know. We'll see. But I got the ammo and I'm ready for it. From a trade night social standpoint, just our event just being dope. It's really all it is. People showed up to our event, thought back on it, and said, that was cool. That was a cool event. I know it's a real simple way to put it, but I mean that. And from a macro standpoint, the hobby in general would make this national success. I thought about, card shows up in mainstream media every so often. I feel like this one has the potential for even greater. You don't know what athletes might be there. Fanatics is going to have a big thing going. You read things about this being the biggest national ever, so you never know what kind of eyeballs that it may reach.
What's the deal with Fanatics? Shout out to Seinfeld. Ken, all right, how about you?
All right, back to me. As a dealer, to be able to come home cash heavy, right? That's always the goal from that standpoint. But from, as the collector in me, to come home with some great PC cards, things that I've been chasing, things that I'm looking for that I just haven't been able to find or acquire yet. And social, also just meeting all the people that I've been messaging and talking to all year long with the podcast and everything else, just knowing that even up until just a few days before that, still it's like a flurry of messaging with people, and I just keep telling people, just come to the trade night. Either come to my booth, they're on the floor, or come to trade night, because either way, that's where you're going to find me.
Hey, Big Ken, once you go ahead and sell out that table of yours, what are you gonna do with all that money, bro? Like, what's your next, the next plan after?
Yeah, well, you know
Or
what?
Desmond Ritter.
The next plan is the next season, right? Every year I get a little bit smarter with this. So
you're gonna look to reinvest then into more inventory to continue the
just to
Big
keep it
Ken
going.
dominance.
But the goal of all this is to take some of that money and keep funding my own PC, right? So I don't never have to reach into my own pocket.
Right.
And everything I've done up to this point, I mean, now I'll be able to afford a couple nice PC cards, right? So, and the so many people I talk to, their goal is to take their whole, like they're sending me pictures of their Zion case full, and they're like, I'm bringing this, and I'm like, your poor arms, you're gonna be carrying this, try to carry this case around. They're like, no, it's like, I want to just turn it over. I want to move all these cards, and I want to put all new cards in there. And that seems to be the mentality of people who are getting excited for the national. They have so much stuff, they want to just turn over cards and just come out of there with all kinds of new cards. So somebody's cards they're trying to get rid of is going to be somebody's PC card that they're so excited to have, right? So I mean, that's what makes this whole thing work.
Yeah. Do you think this is the national where a lot of, like Ken, you're talking about, where a lot of people try to, I know I saw a little bit at Atlantic City last time, but this week, are we seeing where people try to cash in those mistakes that they made? Where they're above
I
water.
wouldn't say cash in, but I would say cash out.
Cash out, yeah.
Cash out, because at some point, because if you made a mistake and you've been sitting on it, and I talk about this all the time, you're sitting on a mistake for 8 months, and there's no time but the present to get rid of it and take that negative and turn it into a positive somewhere else. Make yourself feel better, right?
Yeah. This whole past year, you've been like, I'm a little high on that card. A little high on that card. Now it's kind of like, you know what? Just get that card the hell out of here. I'm done with that card.
Chances are it's not going to be going up, big time anytime soon. So you might as well just cut the losses, I guess, and keep it moving.
And you heard it here first. I mean, pricing everything to go out there. I'm pricing just a tad over comps, but most of that stuff is going to be right at comps because I can be at comps on those, right? So, man, there's no way. I mean, it's like when you're going camping, right? And you're getting all this food and you're going one direction. You're like, the good news is it's all going to be gone on the way home. We're gonna have plenty of room in the car on the way home, right? And that's kind of my mentality going out there. I'm bringing this stuff out there, but I'll have plenty of room. Plenty of room in the bags coming home.
There you go. Speaking before we Rob, before you go to the next one, speaking of plenty of room, we've got just enough room to sneak one more guy in here. So further ado, the man, the myth, the legend. What do you call him, Oz? Cool moves, Carmine.
Cool moves, Carmine, the pinky wearing demon. Look at him. There he is.
What's up, guys? What's up? Sorry I'm late.
Hey, I just want to throw it out there though to all you. I'm going to get to meet Carmine first. We're arriving at the airport together on Wednesday morning. So.
Jelly.
7 a.m. and we're roommates too. So that's another level.
Ooh, love it. Love it. So Carmine, man, welcome.
Yeah, thank you.
So new job. We'll talk about it for a sec, right? New job in a bigger sports market. You are the sports guy. How does it feel, man?
Today I felt like I really had at least accomplished something in my sports career. Going to Clemson for the first time, seeing a program and a facility that's won 2 national titles in the last 10 years. And, they've been to 6 college football playoffs, second only to Alabama. Met Dabo Sweeney, which was awesome. Just crazy. Made my debut here in Greenville, South Carolina. So, yeah, it was pretty cool. I was blown away by that. I mean, they have a bowling alley in their players' lounge. They got a golf simulator. It's and not to mention like the recovery
at the news channel.
Weight facilities. No, I wish. We need a new NIL deal.
The newscasters have their own bowling alley. Imagine.
Yeah.
Carmine, you could have hustled some of those young bloods on the simulator there, man.
I know, I could have, but I've been a little nervous though because Oz seems like he's taking this potential dance challenge really seriously, and it made me want to back out immediately when he took it seriously with the moonwalk and his moves. So I don't know.
Good thing there's going to be no room on that dance floor.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man.
Carmine's, and what we're referring to is the multiple challenges that have been put out amongst us and by the hobby community in general at the trade night Friday night. So yeah, definitely looking forward to that. And so Carmine, right before you came on, we answered the question, and I'm curious how you would answer this.
Okay.
The National 2023 will be a success if for you.
Oh, I feel like no matter what, I have very low expectations. Just to meet you guys would make it a success. And then to do any type of deal for a PC card will be a success. I mean, you guys are really, I feel like, under more pressure than a lot of us, meaning you, Rob, and Ken being set up there as dealers. I feel like that's a little bit more pressure because we're walking around looking for, pickups. I feel like you guys have more, at least financial stress involved in the situation.
Carmine, we didn't tell you, but we're going to need you to watch our table for Thursday and Friday while Ken and I walk around.
Okay.
Volunteered.
If I can get a free table at the National, I feel like that's a good trade.
Hey, Carmine, real quick. If you have a choice between Tiger or Larry, who are you going for?
Oh, it's got to be Larry.
I knew you. Come on.
Yeah, because I made that choice in my head when I was at the Burbank show, and I traded one of my Tiger autos. It was a rookie auto, SP Authentic, for a couple birds that I still have. So me and Craig were talking about that on Crosstown Cardboard, and I feel like that was the moment where I had to make a decision on those two guys. And yeah, I mean, Bird is just.
Was that the card you big time Jeff, the sports card investor, on?
Yeah, I guess you could say that. He tried to trade me at one of the trade nights, and what he had to trade, I wasn't crazy about. But
cameras were off, and he was just lowballing the hell out of you.
No, like value.
Like, I got
wise,
my wallet in the room.
Rookies.
Yeah, he's like, here's this Damian Lillard base prism. No, it was fair value wise, but it just wasn't,
your taste.
Yeah, exactly. So what else? What have you guys been? Can you guys catch me up? I feel like I'm a little out of the loop here.
Nah, nothing. We're talking cards. Nothing major. We're just talking cards.
Okay,
Rob, you didn't answer that question yourself.
Let's see. The National 2023 will be a success for me if, I think I just want to. It's really all about the people for me this time around. It's like, so I went to the National 2 years ago when it was in Rosemont, and I went there. I went there solo. Okay, so I went there solo. I went there with only like 4 podcast episodes under my belt, so no one knew who I was by name or face. Basically, I had established some relationships with people in the hobby, but not enough to where it was like, oh, let's go meet up and grab dinner kind of thing. So I was kind of like just like a lonely kid who missed the bus, like walking home.
Would you say? Wait, would you say you were a lone wolf with your satchel of cards?
Okay,
you like that, Carmine? That's your kind of.
If I remember, weren't you up texting all night with Craig?
I was, yeah. So one of those nights, that's when Craig and I really first, started getting to know each other. Just texting hobby to the wee hours.
Yeah. We started opening up.
Yeah.
What was that? Exactly. So yeah, I think it'll be a success for me if I, just see as many people as possible and just, meet with a lot of people. And so when I was at the National last year in Atlantic City and I was set up, I really didn't leave the table. And it was great too, because a lot of people would stop by and come and say hello. And I was also able to watch as people walked by. So it was almost like, at a fair, like if people are just kind of walking around in one huge circle around the fair, eventually I felt like I probably saw most people that were there. But I really didn't step outside from behind my table. So this year, this week, I definitely want to be able to walk out. I want to be able to be like, Ken, can you watch my case? We're going to be set up right next to each other. You just watch my case for 2 hours, and I want Ken to be able to say the same exact thing to me. And that's where the
and call me
preparation,
if somebody wants my cards.
listen, but that's where the preparation as a dealer, I think, for this show comes in so key right there, because if I'm at a regular show, if I'm at a 40 table show or even a 200 table show, Ken can literally jump on the phone and call me and say, Rob, get back here. Someone's interested in your, Babe Ruth, or what's the price on that? What's the lowest? This guy has some trade, whatever. And I could probably get back to him within about 60 to 90 seconds. If I'm at the national, first of all, I'm probably going to be so caught up with stuff that I'm not even going to be checking my phone or being able to answer it. And even if I did, it would probably take me 10 to 15 minutes to get back to the table. And 10 to 15 minutes at a show of this size that's a lifetime. So I think being really prepared with, making sure my stuff is priced will enable me to really walk around and meet people and enjoy the show. And, hopefully, Ken or Joku or whoever it is that I'm watching their case for them, hopefully they'll be able to do the same. And that's the best part about going to the national with people that people that you trust.
There you go, Ken. 20% commission. You heard it here first.
So
You guys think that and it might be too late to react, but because Craig, you touched on it earlier about this the national as a whole being like a mainstream event or something that'll be on the tip of the tongue. And I guess we'll go around the thing. Oz, I'll start with you. Do you think the national reacts in some form or fashion late in the game to react to Fanatics' announcement of the live shows they're going to be doing?
That's a good question. I know with Fanatics, man, we were talking about it, that there's going to be something that's going to pop off when it comes to them. I think they got something up their sleeves, I should say, that it's going to surprise everyone. I really do believe they're looking to take this thing, above and beyond what anybody knows the hobby as it is right now, this iteration. So Michael Rubin, his boys, his cast, they're all there planning behind the scenes, and they're going to look to try to make this national. This is, dude, Rob was just mentioning it. This is going to be a big show, man. Like, this is probably going to be one of the biggest nationals ever. And what better way than, to make a splash, with Fanatics and really show what they have the capability of doing. So, with them talking about the whole trying to make it into a Comic-Con type vibe and those shows like that. And then of course, Fanatics Live, I really see big things on the horizon, and I think they're going to use this as the catalyst to get that going in the right direction.
Yeah, but do you
Tony, yes, I'm going to answer your question.
Okay.
I think people at the National are absolutely scrambling right now to try to figure out something extra to do that wasn't already planned to show collectors like, hey guys, don't sleep on the National moving forward. We're still here. We're still going to be here. But let me say this. If the National didn't do anything to react to that or doesn't have anything super over the top plan, then they deserve to lose, this massive show to Fanatics anyways.
Yeah, because how this hobby is very like shiny new toy. Oh, look over here, and everybody just like forgets about all the other. So like, if the National is going to take that approach and be like, oh, we're the National. Dude, what's that shoulder thing that you do with the? This is amazing.
His voice. I know the
that
voice
just comes out.
Yeah,
I don't plan that.
Trade night, guys, be there. Trade night. He's going to do the shoulder thing.
Yeah. So like, if they're sitting up and they're like, oh, we're the National, it doesn't matter with these guys, because everybody's going to always come to the National. And I don't know if you can really rest on your laurels like that. And it might be too soon. It's for them to make some kind of whatever it is, whatever it could be. But I'm just wondering if that's in the back of their mind.
So do you think the Fanatics is looking to, from what I'm gathering from you, because this is kind of like, are you saying that Fanatics is looking to replace what the National is doing?
Oh, definitely.
Well, I can say right now, it's prime right now for the taking for them, right? Because they're making their moves now, and the Nationals changing ownership next year. All new people are going to be running the National next year. So if Fanatics can make moves, right, they may be able to, you know, bump these other people out or make moves to make big changes, you know.
Craig,
So
you were shaking your
Yeah.
head, man.
Yeah, you were saying
Yeah,
no.
because part of National, let's not forget, there's all this corporate stuff, but it's the dealers themselves, the inventory, the types of cards they have, right? So what is Fanatics just going to say? Okay, we're replacing you. Give me your guest list. Give me your vendor list. We're going to use those guys. So like they both have to exist.
They're going to go to Fanatics. The vendors are going to be hitting up Fanatics. You think if Fanatics
Okay.
announced their first ever massive card show event, you think that the same exact vendors and dealers would not be hitting up the National, especially because at the National, they've had the same vendors on the same vendor list for 40 years that have just continued to get grandfathered in. Do you know how many hundreds of thousands of vendors have been waiting to get a spot at the National?
Good point.
They're not going to need
I
any.
forgot how exclusive of a club it is. You got you guys though. Look at you two.
Not Big Ken.
Look at you
Big
two.
Ken,
But
Big
I mean,
Ken's got his own
Hundreds of
own
thousands.
Ken's up in
stage.
there like, yo, look at me.
there he goes. There's the shoulders.
I missed it. Do it again.
I can't. It just it comes naturally, bro.
But
I'll
that
catch it on the replay.
competition, I mean, that competition is. I'd be a little worried if I was the National people. I mean, because you guys know how expensive it is to get a table there. What if Fanatics comes in and cuts that price in half and, you know, does something similar? And like you said, Rob, so many people are waiting just to pay that same amount that the Nationals currently charging. They still can't do it.
Even if Fanatics doubled the table cost, it would still fill up instantly. And with the connects that Ruben has, obviously, I mean, you see him literally with Jay-Z. I thought I could have swore I saw Tupac at his last party, but it could have just been, I don't know. So
Or maybe Elvis was there.
Question is,
Did
how many
Oz-
Elvis cards are you going to pick up, Rob?
He said, did you put me up to that, to say that? Oh my gosh.
So
and how do we get invited to that party next year, right? That's another goal,
Yeah.
right?
So Craig, I'm curious because you were saying that, like, initially you were saying that, like, you're not sure if they'll make the competition. Are you thinking that there's going to literally be there's going to be two events moving forward? The National is going to remain, and then Fanatics is going to have their event, and there's going to be two types of National type events each year?
Yeah, but you keep saying events. This to me, this sounds like something Fanatics might do multiple times throughout the year, whereas the National is just 1 a year event. I didn't interpret the news as 1 a year at all. Is Comic-Con once a year? Oh, there's Comic-Con in multiple locations, aren't
Yeah,
there?
I think there's Comic-Con in multiple
Right.
Right.
locations.
So that's what I had in mind. So can you put on the type of show that National does once a year at all these different events? I don't know. It sounds like they could both coexist, which is good for the
Yeah, I
overall
agree with
event.
Craig. I don't see. I mean, I could be wrong, but I don't think Michael Rubin and everybody is looking from Fanatics to go ahead and completely wipe out the National. I think the National can stand on its own just because of, history and what it's meant to the hobby. And there's, we sometimes we look at it in a vacuum and we us as content creators, but the macro level, as many collectors that are out there and have this has become a way of life, going to the National, and they've passed it down to their children. I think that's just something that's always going to continue. Now, whether or not the popularity seems to wane over time and Fanatics takes over doing their own thing, but I do, but I still think that's they'll be able to stand on their own just because of what the National has established as being the Super Bowl of the hobby. And then, this is the upstart. It's kind of like the Nationals, the NFL, and then you have the XFL. Can, the XFL take over the NFL? Maybe, but probably not likely, but you never know.
I think that Fanatics is going to do everything they can to turn into the new NBA and make the National appear like the ABA.
Ooh, all right. You heard it here first. Breaking news. Breaking
boy.
news.
Wow.
We talking Michael Rubin cutthroat.
Listen, I can't imagine that they're going to want to do anything small ever.
No.
Now, could I see Fanatics putting on a 1 year event like they talked about? Absolutely. Could I see them putting on 4 events a year, once every 3 months, maybe, in December it's in San Diego, in March it's in New York City, and, July it's in San Antonio. Absolutely, I could. And they would take the show on the road. I could absolutely see that.
I like your thought. I don't know about Texas in the summertime, but
Hey, they just
Yeah.
had a show in Dallas, and it was
True. Good
all
point.
fun.
Good point.
Just don't
Yeah.
make it the same week, please. That would be talk about cutthroat. That would be another level. But I know there's always conflicts between like these different shows, like Nashville and Dallas, or
Yeah.
Burbank and somewhere else. I mean, just please, fanatics, don't make it the same week. That would be another level.
That
Same
would
week
be
as the national. I mean,
Yeah, that would be extra petty. I can't imagine they would do that though. But yeah, without a doubt.
That's dope.
So
You guys bringing any swag to give out to the millions of Wolfpack
Oh,
fans out there?
I thought you meant like wearing a fanny pack. Are we putting on our swag?
You know what? If anybody would
Look at Chris.
well, you 3 fanny pack dudes, would you be opposed to autographing and giving your fanny pack to your podcast fans?
No, this is a strong fanny. This is staying with me.
All right, fair enough.
So a few months ago, Matthew, you guys know, 1956 Tops guy, came up with the idea of doing a cargo short giveaway. So I think I'm going to do a cargo short giveaway, and the thing is, I might actually have them game used, so like podcast
Nice.
worn. But I'm not,
Podcast worn.
I'm not sure if that's too over the top.
That's
But-
hilarious.
But
I
that
need
is
a pair of those
definitely-
signed New Balances, bro. That's what I need.
yeah. The only thing with the cargo shorts, though, you can't prove it because you never see your pants.
They're coming. They're coming from me though, so it's
Okay,
it's
so
one
we
of
gotta
those things.
trust.
Yeah,
You need the photo match.
Yeah, photo match.
exactly. So last week, Ken and I were at a card show, and someone was in the park. Oh, Dave, DJ Sports Cards 86. Shout out to him. He was in the parking lot, and he sees us. He's like, "Oh man, they're up to no good," and he just snapped a pic. He goes, "Hey guys, look!" He snapped a pic. So he posts it. And then someone responds back. I didn't even realize that Ken was wearing long shorts too, because someone responded #LongShortGang.
Wow.
So
You guys.
Ken rocks the pants below the knees too.
Well, that's because my legs are short, kid.
So Big Ken,
Big Ken.
the truth comes out. Big Ken has short legs.
Big Ken got big shorts.
Is
That what it is? All right, I got
So guys, is there a specific Grail card? Is there a specific card, or even like a lane of cards, like that you are shooting for national? If you come home with, you're going to consider a success. For me, I have really a couple iconic rookies that I actually acquired last year at the national and ended up moving them. And it feels like my PC has a missing piece now that those cards aren't there. So I'm definitely going for a Bill Russell rookie and probably a 52 Mays. And I would love to pick up a 33 Gaudy Babe Ruth. There is the pick. Kent, dude, Craig's got receipts and everything. How do you even have those receipts?
Oh
So
my gosh,
yes,
those
long shorts gang. Look at those.
I
So
like
if you're listening on podcast, Craig just pulled up an actual picture of, yeah. So
Bang, bang, long shorts gang.
like that.
so yeah, I'm definitely going for a Bill Russell rookie, a 52 Tops Mays, or a 33 Gaudy Babe Ruth. That's what I'm going for. So how about you guys? Do you have a specific card or a specific lane that you're saying that is what I'm razor focused on acquiring?
Well, mine's a little boring to everyone except for myself, but the 2021 Parkside Trinity Rodman auto purple ink. That
Nerd alert.
that is the card
Shout
I
out to
will be
Tony.
hunting for.
Nice. That is dope. Mine is might be just as boring. It's just gonna be trying to finish the Clemente run and some 56 Tops commons. I'm gonna be sitting there flipping through binders. But I was gonna talk to Oz. So when was it? I think it was it's been a while now. We had talked about trying to, because we went in together on the 86 Jordan, a year or so ago. Ended up moving that, and we had talked about trying to get into the Bowman Mays rookie, and we never did it
The
because we got
51
the cash.
Bowman.
We got the cash in hand and just did our own thing, which was fine because I was like, I ended up with cards that I really love, and he did too, and that they're both still in our PC to this day. But that Willie Mays rookie is one that I would love to get at some point. Getting it this week is probably a stretch, but if the cards, no pun intended, fall the right way, and that that does happen, that would be off the hook. Because I just think that Willie Mays, in the grand scheme of things, is just a beast, bro. So
Arguably the greatest baseball player of all time.
Yeah.
Personally, I don't think his market will ever be close to what Mantle's is. It won't ever be what Ruth's is. It probably won't even be what Jackie's is, So market wise, he's definitely top 10. Performance, probably greatest baseball player of all time. Very undervalued.
Agreed.
Yeah. I think for me, it's going to be. I was talking about building the Philly basketball greats.
Are there any?
Bro,
Oh
the
my
greatest of the
gosh.
greats. The greatest of the greats. We have, first of all, AI. Best
Hershey Hawkins.
Johnny Dawkins, Hersey Hawkins, the most feared backcourt in the NBA ever. No, but seriously, like I'm looking for Wilt Chamberlain.
Ooh,
Rookie
listen, your
card.
cousin's got one.
He got one. Yeah,
I know a guy.
I know a guy.
That's a great card. That's a great card.
That is
It's
a great card.
incredible card. 61 Fleer.
Yeah,
and Tony's is centered, which
yeah.
is impossible to find.
Now I was talking about trying to get, a rookie card, all of them autographed. That's going to be tough for the Wilt. I just seen an inaction one that popped up. I don't know if you guys, I forget the guy's name, but he had, I think it's a pop 3. It's the inaction card that Wilt had signed, which is pretty sick. But something like that, and then
Bill Russell in action signed. It's not rookie though. It's not, but
that's still a great one too.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
And then I'm looking to get a Moses Malone as well.
See, you know what happens is you got the Charles Barkley, so you're like, well, I already got one of the greats, so I might as well just start this huge run now. It's like,
so I got Charles, I got Julius, and I got who was the third one?
John Kruk.
Oh, AI. Shit.
Oh.
What am I thinking?
John Kruk. Oh boy.
Craig.
I mean, Carmine, who's going to tell him?
Well, we might have a little conflict of interest here, fellas, because, well, actually, we don't, because by the time this episode comes out, we will have, put out our national wish list. That was the whole topic of our most recent Crosstown Cardboard. But because the national is this week, we don't have to worry about that. So we can reveal a few.
So it's a little bit of Lionel Messi sprinkled in with a little bit of Justin Bieber.
Is it Lionel? I thought it was
Leo Messi, Lionel Messi.
He's putting the soccer panache on.
The way, Craig says it with the Argentine.
Yeah. That's right.
We've been walking around rubbing 2 sticks together. Craig's over here with a flamethrower.
Yeah.
So I'd really love a Lionel Messi 2017 Topps Chrome Gold Refractor. And I would really love a Justin Bieber autograph from either 2001 Panini Americana or the 2012 Justin Bieber set. Great card to have. Have you ever seen those before?
So they're pack hold Bieber autographs?
Correct.
Wow.
2 years where they had them, so that'd be cool. And I'm always looking for Knicks stuff. New York Knicks. I did say I'd like a really nice vintage card in my collection, someone with some cultural significance. Bill Russell, Jackie Robinson. I have the Cassius Clay already. So something really nice and centered. I love the look of the 52 Jackie Robinson, but that might be a little too out of reach. That dark red background really does it for me.
It's incredible. Yeah.
But some Messi, again, Nick stuff. I'm always looking for Giannis just as a guide, but you have to listen to the whole episode to get a further detailed report.
Sounds good.
Yeah, definitely. That was a good episode, I thought. And this is going to be, I'm interested to see how people are going to react to this. the first two don't really have any reaction. Game used chunky NBA patches, but like specifically a noticeable piece of the letter. Like I was showing off a couple, I might as well pull them out for anybody watching on YouTube, but like the Magic Johnson that I have, the DeMar DeRozan that I have.
That's the universal sound of a Zion box slapping open.
Right. So like if it has a piece of the letter, then I'm into it 100%. The other one is an exquisite limited logos of Larry Bird, preferably.
Wow.
You know, just because, and we were talking about this on our Crosstown Cardboard episode too, about like just the game used patch with the auto and the best brand pre-Panini. You know, like Larry Bird would be great, Magic, or even Dennis Rodman. You know, because like the Jordan or LeBron is probably going to be insane, or Kobe. And then the final one is the one that I'm interested to see what you guys might think. Because, Rob, I'm pretty sure you still have this card. I know you were really proud to get it. But the triple auto 1981 Topps with Bird, Magic, Dr. J.
Oh, yeah.
You know, the Bird and Magic rookie also with all three autographs. Yeah. I mean, so I was talking on our episode about a possible roommate deal, so that thing doesn't even see the national floor. But
Yeah, I love that, dude. I look at that card. That's on my save searches. That card will be mine one day. Even I think Oz has talked about it as well.
yeah,
I think just because of those three guys, who they are, what they mean to the game, that to me is like a staple card that should be in damn near everyone's collection at some point.
and then you had to see all three of those guys in person at some point to get them all autographed. You would imagine at separate locations. What's the pop on that, Rob? Do you know? I know, isn't that a PSA 4 with a 10 auto?
Yeah.
And they're out there, but they're on eBay.
Well, here's the thing though with them. So this is a pop 28, 317 higher. So you figure it's probably around 500 of these out there, maybe, you know, and I maybe some got cracked. You can't imagine many did, but you never know. Maybe if someone's like, listen, I know this is at least a 5, I'm going to crack this, you know? But the thing is with that kind of card is I don't think many of these are getting signed anymore at all, because all three of these guys charge an arm and a leg to sign that card, because they know. So I'm pretty sure the pop report is not growing on that, because the cost and what it would take to buy a decent grade version of it and then to pay to have them sign, it's more than likely more expensive than the value of the card is worth, you know.
So is that available for a trade or a potential situation?
No, you know what? I got to tell you, man.
Don't tell me you're high on it. Don't please. Please. I know that's what, you know.
I love you, Carmine, man. So listen, shout out to Craig, okay? Because I truly had an epiphany during the recording of this episode right here. And I think I'm going to take a page out of Craig's book, and I'm not kidding. Like, I think I'm probably going to leave like my top 15 cards at home. And I think I'm just going to bring everything else.
You've been saying this whole time you're going to bring everything. Don't leave anything at home. You've been hammering at home. You brainwashed me.
I know.
Hypocrita.
I know, but you know, I think that Craig is really onto something, man. Craig has built such a great collection that never sees the light of day. You know, like I never saw a picture of Craig's cards until I literally had to ask him for a picture of his cards. Like, I don't know, what was it, like 9 months ago, Craig?
I know exactly what you're talking about. It's still pinned to my profile.
Is it?
Yes, it is.
Oh, that's right. So I think I asked you for a picture, and then you posted it like a day later. You're like, hey, someone asked me for a pic. I'm gonna post this. So yeah, man, like, you know, and you don't build that kind of collection by bringing your big boys everywhere.
However, you are set up.
Thank you.
You are setting up though, Rob. That's the difference. And the National is a showcase.
And you know, that's not the only difference, because I don't want to, you know, try to pressure you, Rob, but just to present this other point that Craig's collection has cards in it. The PC that he's not bringing is really cards that have an irreplaceable story. he got it on his honeymoon in Hawaii, or I know I love bringing that one up, but like these incredible stories. He pulled it in the living room with his dad when he was 10 years old. So like they have such a emotional connection, and I'm sure you have an emotional tie to some of those cards too, but those were gotten recently by
Yeah.
leveling up. So this is a great opportunity to potentially keep leveling up.
Man, you would think he was an investigative journalist, not a sportscaster.
He's not bad. He's not bad. Along those lines, Ken, is the Tyson PMG coming along for the ride?
It is.
With
Yeah.
the
Are you
machine
gonna get it signed?
It is. So if
I
you
knew
listen
it.
to,
I
if you
knew
if,
it.
if you
Wow.
listen to Thursday's episode with my special guest, convinced me that I needed to bring all my ammunition, for sale or not for sale,
Yes.
create a
Yes.
price, and you will attract more of those same cards.
Listen, I could remember. I could distinctively. I just butchered that word. I could distinctively remember. I was sitting there mowing the lawn like 3 months ago. I text Ken and said, "If you had the opportunity to get your Tyson signed, would you?" And he was like, "No." And I was like, "He's gonna.
I
He's gonna
would.
try to get it signed. He's
I
gonna
would.
slip. He's gonna slip Tyson. You know what?
Yeah.
I'll leave that to the
You
imagination."
got to catch him on the streets, and he'll make it happen.
So, Ken, are you liquidating your Tyson collection?
No.
Because you just sold two. You just sold two PSA 10s out of 3. He
No,
had
they
two
were-
of
they
the
were-
3.
They were PSA 9s.
He
They were
had
not.
so
They were not 10s.
they were
PSA
Leaf
9s,
Auto,
and
Leaf
they were
Auto.
Leafs. They were Leafs.
Yeah. Well, Ken
I'm
has.
I'm an upper deck guy now.
Yeah.
I'm not a Leaf guy. I'm an upper deck guy.
I sold Ken that one that's still in his case there.
And the
Nice.
thought pattern is to attract some more upper deck Mike Tysons my way. So if nobody sees that I have them, they may
Oh.
not say, "Hey, I've got something you might like." Right?
Yeah, that's fair.
Good
That-
idea.
We're sitting here talking to Einstein. We're sitting here. We're licking the wall.
Nah, that's
I'm-
fair. I'm with you on that. When I see the Leaf Tysons, they do nothing for me.
No.
The sticker autos, half the time his signature's off, half cut
Oh,
off.
all
of
the
it.
time.
Yeah, it's just
Yeah.
doesn't. But the upper deck, all day, man. Those are beautiful. Right now, someone has the one complete set. It's like a $20,000 price tag on it, but which is a little too much for my blood. But I'm with you there, bro. With the upper decks.
Yeah.
By the way, breaking news. Well, we talked about these before, but we finally have them in hand. Cousin Oz and I will have 2 sets of different stickers. So shake us down if you need stickers for your Zion cases and all that stuff. The first one is the regular Cousins, and it's in the
Ooh.
plastic. Cousins
The die
collectible.
cut, if you
That's
will.
cool.
Yeah, the die
Yes,
cut.
yes.
Yeah. None of that cheapo stuff. You know what I mean? We went all out for these. No spare, no
What are you
expense.
trying to say?
And the other one is the exclusive Cousins Collectibles podcast logo.
Oh, that's cool too.
That's my jam right there.
There's Cousin Oz with the white hat, chilling. So yeah, if you see us, shake us down. We will have some of these throughout the weekend.
$5 per auto.
There you go.
Yeah.
And if you want Oz to sign it, he will not do any inscriptions. He will not
That's
sign
extra?
anything. Yeah, that says People's Mailman. So don't ask. That is exclusive to the podcast.
There you
So,
go.
fellas, dude, I'm excited. This is like, I just want to thank all of you publicly to make this thing happen. It was like, I told Oz, I was like, yo, we got to do something, and now it's here. Thank you very much to all of you.
Yeah.
Hey,
likewise.
I've waited all year to say this, and I hope I'm not dating myself. Right? I'm either gonna understand what I'm saying, or you're gonna have no clue. Right?
Oz and
But
I will get it.
it's 106 miles to Chicago. We got a full tank of gas, a half a pack of cigarettes. It's dark, and we're wearing sunglasses. Hit it. Anybody in the room?
Nope.
I'm
Dang it.
gonna take a guess and say planes, trains, and automobiles.
Blues Brothers, baby.
That's what I was gonna
Wow.
say. You didn't give me enough time.
Right.
We gave you 10 seconds, Oz.
Missed it by that much.
That's a little- that's
was
a
the
little before-
longest
All
silence.
the
Silence.
listeners out there are screaming at their radio or their computer right now. Yelling,
Their
Blues
radio.
Brothers.
Yeah. Well, guys, listen. Can't wait to see you. Any closing thoughts?
Hold on. So before we close this out, we cannot just say goodbye. It's got to be all the catchphrases in some form or fashion. I don't know how we're going to do it, but we need the take care of this, bring the beat back. We need the peace from the so
Peace.
there you go.
Love it. Love it. Take care of yourselves and your collection.
There you go.
Go ahead, Big Ken.
Take care of yourselves and everyone around you.
Fellas.
Peace.
Peace.
And as always, keep focused, keep positive, and keep collecting. Hey, yo, Tone, bring the beat back.